Welcome to Inspirational Journeys, everyone. My name is Ann Harrison, and today I have the pleasure of speaking with Ellwyn Autumn, who was referred to me by Amelia Griggs, who's been on the show before. Welcome to the show, Ellwyn.
Hi, Ann. Thanks so much for having me, and hello to all of your listeners.
Thank you very much. So, first of all, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am a former pre-K Head Start teacher and kindergarten teacher with the School District of Philadelphia. I left the district about 3 years ago to pursue writing full-time, which is what I do now.
Ah. Okay. So what inspired you to become a writer?
Well, ever since I was little, I've always enjoyed writing and storytelling. I discovered my passion for writing when I was in second grade. I came home and I had to do a book report, and I thought that meant that I could write my own book. I know. I was really, really upset when I found out I had to read another book and, summarize it and all that. So I decided after that book report that I would start writing my own stories, and that's what I've been doing.
Wow. For me, it was like I started doing creative writing in middle school, and then I dabbled in it in high school, and off and on from there, and now it's what I'm doing too. So anyway, so what inspired you to write children's books?
Well, after I had my children and teaching for so long, just being surrounded by the rich literature that I was exposed to and had the privilege of reading to my own classroom, that's what inspired me to write picture books. I've always wanted to write, I also write fantasy stories. Oh. And I've just always wanted to write fantasy stories ever since I was little. So just
right. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
And fairy tale is fantasy, really, if you get down to the nitty gritty.
Yeah, well, I actually did a reimagined fairy tale about Captain Hook. It's a novelette. It's for like middle grade to high school kids. It's really short, but some of the vocabulary is a little challenging. So that's why I targeted older kids. But yeah, it tells Captain Hook's side of the story.
Wow, I bet that was interesting.
Yeah, it's gotten good reviews and a lot of people really enjoy it. That the inspiration for that came, of course, while I was teaching. I don't know if you're familiar with the story, the true story of the Three Little Pigs. It tells the wolf side of the story. So that was like one of my favorite books to read to my class. And then I just decided one day that I wanted to tell Captain Hook's side of the story.
Oh, wow. That does sound like a fun write. I think I've read that, but I'd have to go back and look because it's been a while. So let's talk about Teddy Bear Tea. Where did the idea for that one come from?
You know what? I don't know. It just came to me. I know that probably sounds so cliche, but I can usually, okay. I can usually pinpoint where an inspiration for a story came. Like, I said Captain Hook. My Kamyla Chung series was inspired by some of my students. And then Kringle's Cop was inspired by my son. But Teddy Bear Tea, it just came to me. And I just wrote it down, and that one, it only took me a day to write that, a couple hours, maybe not even.
Wow, because I know when I read it, I was like, oh my gosh, that is so cute. To see all those animals, I don't want to spoil it, but to see all those animals hanging around with a teddy bear, that was just so cute.
Oh, Tanya Glebova, she is an amazing illustrator. She captured my words. Like, I was so excited when I saw the pictures. I couldn't wait to share it with everyone. Now it's out there.
Oh, wow. So are you self-published, or do you work with a traditional publisher or hybrid?
I'm self-published. I like the idea of self-publishing because when you traditionally publish, I've heard, normally the author and the illustrator don't even meet many of the times, and the author doesn't really have a hand in who gets to draw the pictures.
Right.
I like searching for a style. Like, I have a different illustrator for the Kamyla Chung series, I have a different illustrator for the cover of the hook book, because each one has a different, each one is different genre or just has a different flavor, and I need to find the illustrator that matches the vision in my head.
Right, and you have more control.
Yes.
So have you thought about getting your books in audio?
Yeah, I'm gonna start looking into it. It's one thing at a time. You know, there's so much that you need to do that I'm learning a little more every year.
Right, I can recommend, after the interview, I can definitely recommend a narrator, because she did my poetry book.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you.
I don't know if you saw the video, because I saw you liked my page. I don't know if you saw the video up there, but yeah.
I don't think I've seen that yet. I've listened to some of your podcasts.
Yeah.
But lately I've been so tied up with Teddy Bear Tea and getting the marketing stuff ready, and then there were a few kinks right before it was set to release, so I was scrambling.
Doesn't that always happen?
Each book is an adventure and a learning experience.
Yeah, definitely. So tell me about your process. Are you a pantser, a plotter, a planter? I don't know if you know what that means, but I can explain that if I need to.
No, I do. I plot. Well, actually, you know what? It depends on the story. Like I said, Teddy Bear Tea just came to me out of the blue. A lot of times my picture books, I don't have to do a lot of planning. They kind of just come to me and then I write them down. But my novels, yeah, I usually buy or get a notebook for each novel and write out all kinds of notes about everything.
Yeah, I do some bare bones plotting though here lately. I've been doing a little more for my NaNoWriMo stuff. So, do you have any advice for, excuse me, aspiring authors?
Yes, read. I'm a teacher, so of course I promote literacy, but if you want to become a good writer, you have to read, and you have to read the genre that you're writing for. I've had people come to me and like, oh, I want to write a children's book. What should I do? Well, I've been reading children's picture books for 27 years. So it's not like I just sat down one day and decided to write it. Like I said, I've been reading for 27 years. And then like even for my fantasy books, you have to research what you're going to write. So I'm constantly I was constantly going to the library before COVID and getting out, you know, middle grade novels or young adult novels and just constantly reading the genre. Another thing is to join a writer's group. They're so helpful. Just like with my launch for Teddy Bear Tea, I was able to call on my my writer's group to read the book for me before, you know, it went to publication. Some glitches were found. They also helped me with some reviews. And don't give up. And I am my own worst critic. So sometimes I'm writing and I'm like, you know what? I'm just not going to do this today because I don't like how this sounds. And then, you know, you have to constantly go back. It's a process.
Yeah, I used to be that way myself. I used to be my own worst critic, but then my friend who is a high school English teacher and my writing coach, she talks about reading in your genre all the time, and then just getting the draft down and then going back and doing edits, because when you try to do edits in the middle of a draft, you're going to mess up your flow.
I know, and I am horrible at that. I constantly go back and edit because I'll be writing and I'm like, oh my God, I just thought of something else and I have to go back and put this in now.
Oh yeah, you have to go back and add and layer, but I mean like do the minor stuff. See, I just finished rewrites on the book, and I'm letting that kind of sit and get cold per se while I'm working on my NaNoWriMo novel, which I'm actually rewriting a novella for that. So I get what you're saying.
And you also really need to find, if you're going to self-publish, a good editor. Really, really good editor. They're invaluable.
Right. So, any other parting words that you would like to leave us with?
No, just thanks so much for having me on the show, and check out Teddy Bear Tea. You can find all of my books, and I have free educational resources for my picture books on my website at ellwynautumn.com. I also did a summer camp video series over the this past summer to help with the COVID learning gap, because I was doing classroom visits in the late spring, early summer, and I was hearing a lot of things from teachers about how children were falling behind. So I targeted a theme a week, and I focused on a letter a week with a phonics lesson. And
Oh,
there's,
wow.
yeah, and there's free downloadable content for all of the lessons.
I was about to ask where people can find you online. I mean, I know you mentioned your website, but do you have a social media presence?
Yes, I'm on Facebook. I'm Ellwyn Autumn author. I'm on Instagram at Ellwyn Autumn. Twitter, I have a YouTube page. But if you go to my website, rather than giving everybody tons of links, if you go to my website, you can access everything at ellwynautumn.com.
Okay, and all of those links will be in the descriptions on the YouTube channel, the podcast, and my show notes blog post. So we challenge you today to go out there and read to get inspired, write something inspiring, and share your creation with the world. For when you've touched one life, you've touched thousands. Thanks for joining us on Inspirational Journeys, Stories That Matter. And remember, your story and your message matters. Have a blessed day, everyone.